Okay, sorry about that. Little crisis situation outside with my husband. So, okay, when you print out the guide and the pattern, what you'll see are these squares are all 2.5 by 2.5 by 2.5, including the bottom, which will make each panel for each side and the bottom. Then your tabs will look something like this. And what I did was actually made one of these using cardstock. I just traced around it to figure out how much I'm going to cut off just to make it work. It comes out right at about 7/8 of an inch on this side, 1/4 of an inch on each side, and then the bottom. So if this was printed out, you would have a sheet that looked like this without the border. And you're basically going to just cut out this part, and you're going to have an 8" by 8" square piece with that printed on. And when I did it, I printed one out, cut it out on cardstock, and that gave me a really nice template. I could hold it up and make sure my print was going to be right before I tried to print a bunch with all of the logos and all the information on it. But just for simplicity, I'm going to use cardstock. I don't have any printed with just regular. So what you're going to start out with, this is We Are Memories Gift Box Punch Board. This is from Hobby Lobby or Michaels, both carry it. I thought it was $12.99. This is the original packaging. It does say $19.99. I bet I used my 40% off coupon like a normal person. And it comes with a lot. It actually has the instruction sheet. And then the punch board itself is one piece. And it has the side that folds out to make a nice long score line. It has the punch to do the little hook on the top. This punch will make the rounded corners here and here and here and all throughout the box. That makes it really fold up nice and it doesn't catch on itself. And then you'll have lines with small, medium, large, extra large, and same thing up here. These are going to be for your folds here and here, the really nice straight horizontal vertical look lines. This one that we'll be using, this actually uses the M on both sides, is for the diagonal, which will put a crease right here, 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 and here, so that when it folds up, it'll cave in nicely and you won't have extra weird parts dangling out there. So we'll start with the first side, and what we're going to do is line it up to the M and punch. Then there's always 3 steps after that, and you're going to do this 4 times in a row. And you're just going to put your score right here. I usually, on cardstock, I'll do a couple swipes just to get a really nice crisp edge. You do your vertical, your horizontal, and then you're going to do your diagonal. And it stops automatically. It won't let you keep going. There's a nice little groove in here. And then when you come out, you're going to have your indent, this one, and that one. And then you're just going to turn it to the next side and just keep going around. I'm sorry, this is boring part. And if you forget one, you can just put it right back in that position with that M line and you're fine. And I'll show you the bottom of this. If you ever get paper stuck in the punch, it's super easy to remove. I keep it nice and open. And I do have a couple different of these punch boards. I highly recommend it. You can do the big studio, which I have underneath here, but you don't get the punches with it. And these punches and just having everything all in one piece, I mean, if you're going somewhere boring, I forgot the punch on that one. If you're going somewhere boring, you need something to do, you could take it with you. Even the scoring bone, and this is what a scoring bone is, slides right into a little hole here, so it's only like that big folded down. After you get all 4 sides done with their gaps, you're going to flip it over the M, and you're going to punch. And this, you're done with your scoring bone. I'll just slip that out. And punch all the way around. And if you're a little bit off, it's not a giant crisis. And you can kind of see on the bottom, there's nice score lines. You can see your diagonal lines, your little tabs for the top. If you want the locking hood or hook thingy, you're just going to turn this around, or you can dangle your arm over it, but I figured you'd want to see it. Put your corner in and just punch that, and it made a nice little tab. And just repeat for all 4 corners. And this you do want to kind of get pretty accurate. And it's not super picky, but it's going to lock a lot better. Pop that one in. And then we get to fold. Okay, I'm just going to set that aside. Oh, I was going to show you. This folds right back up. There's your punch for the corner. Had to look. I'm sorry, this is both your punches for the corner piece and for the hook. That goes in there. Your scoring bone stores really neatly in there, and then when you're ready to use it, it pulls right out. And each of the punch boards do that. This is the pillow box one. It also has green color coding, so you know it's punch board gift box. So now we're ready to fold, and we've got all our little pieces. You can just throw those away unless you want to make confetti. And you can actually, since this is cover stock, I'm going to grab the scoring bone. Thought it was done. You're going to fold this in, give it a little crease, and you're just going to go over each of the creases all the way around. It's going to make it a lot easier to fold. And then turn it the other way. Rinse and repeat. And once you've done a couple, you like doing these in your sleep. As for your diagonals, you just want to kind of give them a little pinch. You don't have to really press down and do a lot of craziness, but anytime you can give it a really nice crease before you fold it, the better. And you can kind of see, if you just kind of bundle up in your hand, it's going to automatically fold up into what we're going to have for our box. At this point, if you don't want to mess with gluing or taping your tabs, you can either fold them in and tape, or you can put glue here and here on the inside. If you want it to open up as kind of a surprise box, you know, ooh, I got a bath bomb, you could print stuff in here. You could do little puzzles or whatever. Since this is cardstock, this is going to fold together really nicely, and I'm not even going to worry about taping and gluing. The paper one, you really have to tape it, or you use a fancy little glue thing, and that just folds, yeah, right together. Sometimes it takes a little work. And there's my beautiful little gold box. And if you want, you can also do that. Fold these up. If you didn't use the hook, you can fold your corner up. Use a little brad nail before you fold it all up. Punch a little hole, and you can put a cute little bow. And there's enough tab there to hold your bow. Or you could wrap your ribbon around. I had one made like that. And you know, with the possibilities you can use this thing for are just crazy. You can use up to a 12 by 12 sheet, which is standard scrapbook paper. That will make a 4 by 4 by 4 inch box. So if you have the really big bath bombs, you could. Pre-printing, unfortunately, with your information on it, is going to be really difficult because you're going to have to use a really wide piece of paper, and most printers are only going to go up to like an 11 by 17, so you're an inch short. I would probably do a wrap if you're doing something that big. On the punch board itself, it does give you the dimensions. So if you wanted a 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 2 1/2 inch box, you're going to use a 9 by 9 inch sheet of paper. You're going to use the L on this side, and then over here you would use the M for your diagonal. So they give you a pretty good variety. And then with the punch, and you can use the punch on other things, and you don't have to use it just for this. So there's a lot of possibilities for it. I have totally loved it for, you know, even $12 to $20, and they go on sale all the time, and they are able to use the 40% coupon because they're not the Cricut or some of the bigger brand names that they always put an exemption on. So all of their tools, all of their board makers are always subject to their 40% off regular coupon, or if they're having a sale for, you know, 50% off, grab them all. Totally worth it. You know what, I'm going to turn this up and I'll bring it back and I'll show you the studio. I'll be right back.